Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
It's great to be here this morning and to join our governor and the congressman, as well as Representative Rattenberg and Senator Gail Golden. And I want to take a moment to recognize the business members of the community that are here too, because I've been coming to these events for years, and it wasn't always the case that we had the Fidelities in the room and we had other businesses so actively engaged in working together with the Economic Progress Institute. Now, one of the things I have to say before I get started, I want to say to the Governor, Governor, we've had a tough time with logos and everything lately. I'm thinking roadworks. I like it. And you know why I like it? Because it's about jobs. And that's what your conference today is about. And I want to say, if I know the time that you guys put into actually putting this together, and when I look at it and you see the Jewish Alliance, AFSCME, as well as the Neighborhood Health Plan, and Bank RI, Blue Cross Blue Shield, it says about what this institute has done. When you guys changed the name from the Poverty Institute, you changed how you approach things, but what you didn't change was your mission. And that's why I'm here and proud to be here today to have this discussion, important discussion about our most important policy document, the state budget, as well as the other important issues facing our state today. As I've said, this is always one of my favorite gatherings, but one of the things that I think is important about today is we're not just talking about programs and assistance and support that we can give to people, but we're talking about investments that we make in people. And I'd like to highlight those items that are in the governor's budget that merit all of your support and advocacy for. The proposed budget addresses the Childcare Cliff provision so that workers can stay on the job and make the choice to work more hours, earn a promotion without losing a child care subsidy. This sounds like such a basic thing, but it is in the budget and it's important. Senator Betty Crowley, I know, is hoping to join you. He's been and continues to be a strong leader on this issue for many years. And I'm going to take this opportunity to recognize Scott Jensen and others who have been supportive of this program. This budget also proposes to increase the earned income tax credit. Our neighboring states are both considerably higher than us. Massachusetts is at 23% of the federal credit. Connecticut is at 27.5%. I believe that the earned income tax credit lifts working families out of poverty. It supplements the wages of low-wage workers and encourages work. It is imperative for our children and for our future that we increase the EITC. Senator Gail Golden, who I mentioned earlier, who's here today, has submitted legislation to further increase the EITC. But I want to take a minute to say to you that when the governor first proposed her budget, a number of reps and senators were all together, and the concern was raised, or the challenge was raised, well, geez, what about the tax classifications in Massachusetts and Connecticut? Aren't those different? So really our EITC is more generous than others? And I took a deep breath and I said, I'm not sure. It sounds like a very legitimate question. And I went back to my office, and I want you to know the first people I called were the actually I called my fiscal staff, and they said, I bet you the Economic Progress Institute has that information. And we turned to you, and this institute came forward, testified at the committee hearings, and went shoulder to shoulder with some of the other fiscal experts around the state to provide the sound fiscal analysis on which to challenge those arguments and questions that are raised in our quest to raise the EITC. Also, I want to mention something that hasn't been mentioned that I'm supportive of because I think it's critical to our workforce, and that's the governor's housing bond proposal. And I believe that an investment that boosts our economy, not only through the people it will house, but which is of primary importance, but through the construction workers that it employs in the process. And finally, the last item that I'd like to mention in the budget is that the governor has invested $600,000 in increased funding for valuable services provided by our local senior centers. Centers that help our seniors and our elders stay connected. This thing's flashing away. It's not going to go like that. I hope I didn't cut it off. I do want to just say, the governor has eloquently spoken to them, so I will not review them. But this budget continues to make investments in education at all levels, which has been a priority for us in the Senate. One continued challenge has been addressing the stubborn achievement gap. And I want to recognize Senator Metz and Senator Pichardo, who I know who are hoping to join you today. And this year they've submitted legislation formally setting a goal for reducing the achievement gap in 3rd grade reading and math. And finally, I am going to take a minute to highlight the work of the Human Services Committee Chair, Josh Miller. He's worked so hard, whether it's support services for those with developmental disabilities or DCYF. And Scott Jensen, once again, has helped us with the initiative to move forward to put those individuals in our community who are developmentally disabled into the mainstream workplace. And it's something we'll be proud of as a state as we move forward. So whether it's the Earned Income Tax Credit, child care, minimum wage, I want you to know that the Rhode Island Senate supports the initiatives of the Institute to ensure the economic security of all Rhode Islanders. So thank you for inviting me to be here today.